This is Growing Up Aspen Season 2, where we're actually going to deep dive with a bunch of folks that we actually grew up with. Usually it's Chris Pomeroy and myself, Andy Collin, but today it's just Mike Marolt and I. And so one of the things that I felt like influenced us kids early on were our early jobs. I mean, obviously everyone first sold papers, was sort of one of their first eschews into work. But can you go through a little list of some of the places that you've worked? I mean, were you a Gant man? I was a Gant man.
Here again, I never sold papers.
Oh, really?
No, I worked for Avalanche out of my parents, my mom's house. She passed away a year ago, but her house is on 875 Bonita. It was on the golf course.
Yeah, I was 4 houses down from you guys.
Yeah, that's right. And so I always got jobs out at the golf course, working for Avon, picking up range balls. And then the other source of income, and it was awesome, was raking and mowing the graveyard, which was the other direction.
Yeah.
And Joe Bolin was a guy that managed that, and he had a budget from the county. And, we were 8, 9, 10 years old out there pushing lawnmowers, picking up twigs, making, I remember, $13 an hour.
Wow.
That's back in the 70s.
Wow.
And he said, well, I know I'm overpaying you, but they give me enough money to hire an adult, and I can't find any adults that want to do it. So I'm just going to give you guys the money.
Yeah.
And then the other job that I did starting in 5th grade was I worked for Dexter Williams at Sabatini Sports. And I would start out cleaning the bathroom and the toilet, and I would end, then I would go and wax skis, and I learned how to tune skis so I could work the benches. And then I would end the night by vacuuming the whole shop. And I'd do that every day. Get on the mini bus at the time after I got home from school, and I'd run to town and work that job. And then later I worked for, the Andersons at Pomeroy Sports, and just how much, too much fun. And then I, coached baseball when I got into college for the summers. I'd coach a little league.
Well, tuning skis and all that stuff definitely gets you into the gear, tuning and getting gear ready and getting stuff tuned up, and you know what I mean? And in a way that's sort of training for later on in your life as well.
Oh, I was just in the winters. Nothing else existed. It was skiing, and it was just to be, in 5th or 6th grade and running down there to work in a ski shop.
Yeah.
And it was a huge source of pride, and it was, a little bit of money in my pocket. I would have done it for free though. I remember telling myself I'd do this for free. It was just such a big deal to tell people what I did after school. It was really fun. And it's like, I remember one funny story. It was, the one on the old Sabatini there.
Yes.
On, what is that? Mill Street.
Yeah.
And Jack Nicholson and all the stars would get their skis tuned there. And, Tom's Market was just down the alley, and they would send me to Tom's Market to get, Cokes and
sandwiches,
chips, and everybody would have to chip in, including me. And so I'd go and get all the goods and come back and lay it on the bench. And I remember one time everybody, put their money in, and this guy is sitting there eating some chips, and I didn't know who he was. And I looked at him and I said, "You didn't put any money in the kitty." And the guy looked at me and just started laughing, and everybody in the shop started laughing. And it was Jack Nicholson. Took a $20 bill out of his pocket. He said, "Is that good enough for you, kid?" And I started laughing. But it was just a lot of little things like that. Just great memories. And Dexter was so good to me. And, later in life, before he passed away, he was just such a mentor, and just great memories.
That's the community that I really miss, is that whole. I'm so glad I got a shot of that, because it's hard to describe. It's you kind of need to be there, and you can't unless you get a hot tub time machine or something.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening to Growing Up Aspen, a Joiner's Table podcast with our classmates. We'd like to thank the Aspen Times and the Aspen Daily News for letting us include some of their materials in our book, Growing Up Aspen, Adventures of the Unsupervised. The authors would like to thank you. If you're interested, you can check out our book at twistandturnpress.com.